What's up, guys? It's Ty here, and I finally have my 2019 NBA free agent prediction video. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 2019 NBA free agency window officially opens. The players can officially sign on July 6th when the next NBA year officially starts. But, yeah, guys, I'm going to be doing my predictions on where these guys are going. Obviously, other people have these videos, but I just feel like I have a few different ones, and I have some different perspectives, you know, because, people are going for, the streamlined signings. I'm going to try to go a little more obscure, see if we can maybe get some different picks, I mean, there's a lot of the same, but, there's a few ones that it's like, maybe. It probably won't, but maybe. That's why they're predictions. So, let's get started here with the prize token of free agency, Kevin Durant, even though I think it's Kawhi, but Business Insider thinks it's Kevin Durant, so I will abide by Business Insider. Obviously, played for the Golden State Warriors last year, and he played pretty well, but as we know, in Game 5 of the Western Conference Semis against Houston? I think it was Game 5, something like that. I think it was that game. He hurt his Achilles, and they said it was his calf, and then he came back in Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Toronto Raptors, and then he ended up rupturing his Achilles in that game. So people were thinking like maybe he would not get a max free agency deal, like a max contract might not be happening for him, and then a lot of people thought that he would accept his $30 million player option with the Golden State Warriors, but he ended up declining that, basically saying that he will be leaving the Warriors, even though there's still a chance that he might sign with them again. I don't think that he will be re-signing with the Warriors. I think he'll be leaving, and I think that he'll be joining the Brooklyn Nets. Now, why do I think he'll be joining the Brooklyn Nets? They have the space, if they renounce the rights to D'Angelo Russell, which in this scenario I think they will have enough for 2 max free agency spots, and I think Kevin Durant will occupy one of those spots and really kickstart this Nets team. Probably be a really good team in the East, and not next year but the year following, because Kevin Durant will likely have to sit out the entirety of next season due to his ruptured Achilles, probably the worst injury you can have in sports. Yeah, guys, Kevin Durant will be going to the Brooklyn Nets. Next up, we have Kawhi Leonard, the 2019 Finals MVP himself, board man, fun guy, whatever you want to call him. Kawhi Leonard is going to get paid this summer. He had himself a great regular season and even a better playoffs. Obviously, he's rumored to stay with either the Raptors. We got the Clippers, the Knicks, and lately it's been the Lakers as well, as reports have came out that KD and Kawhi have wanted to team up and play. Now, do I believe those rumors? I do not. I personally don't believe in those rumors. I mean, the Nets do have another spot for a max slot, but I don't think that max slot's going to go to Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard is going to be staying in Toronto. I don't think he'll leave after a championship. I just honestly can't see that happening. He's going to leave the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Lakers in the dust and stay up in Canada. I think Kawhi Leonard is going to stay with the Toronto Raptors. On to the next one, we have Kyrie Irving, someone who I have some mixed feelings about as a Boston Celtics fan. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. It's whatever. I mean, he had himself a great season. I mean, I liked him until he started, acting like a mean person. I'm going to keep this family friendly, but he started acting like we're going to bleep ourselves out there, but whatever. Some rumor spots. I mean, he could stay with the Celtics. I'm going to say 95% he's not going to stay with the Celtics. Nets, the Lakers, and I believe the Clippers would be the other one, or the Knicks. Okay. Yeah, the Knicks were in him too, because the Knicks also have a chance to sign KD and Kyrie, but you know who else has a chance to do that? Their in-state rivals, the Brooklyn Nets, and I think Kyrie will be going to the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant. This has been one of the main rumors, and I think that rumor is true. I think Kyrie and KD are going to team up in Brooklyn, leaving the Clippers, Lakers, the Knicks, leaving them all in the dust and forming a little quote-unquote super team up there. So I think Kyrie is going to stay in the East and play for the Brooklyn Nets. Next up, we have Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler have been having an interesting 2 years to his career. He was on the Bulls. He got traded to the Timberwolves on draft day. I believe it was 2 years ago, or it was last year. and then he got traded within the season to the 76ers. And then, yeah, they didn't really win. They lost, in a terrible way to Kawhi Leonard, Mr. Boardman, in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. And, yeah, it's kind of heartbreak there. And, going out of the season, they knew that Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris were due for new contracts, and they could not keep them both. And some of the rumored spots are the Sixers, Lakers, Nets, Knicks, and Mavericks. Well, I don't think he's going to go to the Nets because they're already, with KD and Kyrie, they're already filled right there, so that's out of the picture. The Mavericks, I don't think that he's going to go to the Mavericks. The Knicks is a very, very good possibility, but I actually do not think he's going to go there. And then the Lakers. The Lakers would be probably the best bet unless he goes to the 76ers, and that's a team that I think he's going to go to or it's going to stay with. I think he's going to stay with Philadelphia. In my opinion, I think the Lakers are going to miss out on Jimmy Butler, and the 76ers are going to choose Jimmy Butler over Tobias Harris to stay on their team, and I think that's the right move. Next up, we got Kemba Walker, and Kemba Walker is an interesting player here. He obviously plays for the Charlotte Hornets, their star point guard, 25.6 points per game, all-NBA third team this season, and is eligible for the super maximum deal with the Hornets. But he's got nothing around him. It's just, I think he wants to move to a new team. He says he wants to stay in Charlotte. I don't believe that. I think he's just being nice, and I think he is going to leave the Hornets. It well possibly could stay with Charlotte, but I just don't think he will because they don't have the cap space to get any help. So he could obviously stay with the Hornets. The Knicks are in the running, the Lakers, and the Mavericks. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Since the Lakers missed out on Kawhi, they missed out on KD, Kyrie, I think the Lakers will land Kemba Walker. He'll be a point guard that can score and facilitate the ball to LeBron and Anthony Davis. I know Kemba kind of needs the ball in his hand, but I think he's going to kind of change his game. Obviously, his points per game are going to go, honestly, way down. I can see him becoming maybe like an 18-point scorer. But I could see him having around 7 assists per game, and I could see his numbers, which are really good. I can see them going up because he'll take a couple less shots. I know with more shots, you'd expect the averages to be, a little lower or higher, but I think they're actually going to go up with less shots, a little bit less points, probably the same boards, probably a little less, and then higher assists. And I think that's what Kemba is going to morph his career into. And it's going to be Kemba, LeBron, and AD, and that's going to be a pretty scary team in the West. So I think Kemba Walker will go to the Los Angeles Lakers. Next up, we got Klay Thompson, the second of the two Splash Brothers, along with Stephen Curry. Klay Thompson in Game 6 of the NBA Finals this season was going ballistic. He was going off, making shots left and right, and then goes up for one dunk. Danny Green tries to block him, doesn't get the block. Klay Thompson lands kind of awkwardly on his knee and ends up tearing his ACL, and he comes back and sinks 2 free throws, which was really cool to see, but it's not cool that he tore his ACL. And his contract is now up, and the Warriors kind of have to make a decision. I mean, do they offer Klay Thompson the max, or does Klay Thompson leave? I mean, he has a meeting with the Clippers and I believe the Lakers as well. But I mean, the rumored landing spots here are the Warriors, and I'm agreeing with that. I think Klay Thompson will be staying with the Golden State Warriors. Plus, it's been in the news a lot lately. It's been saying that Klay Thompson is going to be offered a 5-year, $190 million deal. I mean, even Woj said that it's probably going to happen, so I am going to agree with that. It's not confirmed, but I will agree with that. I think Klay Thompson will stay with the Warriors. Next up, we have Tobias Harris, obviously playing for the 76ers last season, and we already went over that along with Jimmy Butler. Had himself a great year with 20 points per game, 7.9 boards, 2.8 assists, and even 40% from the three-point line, so that's very good. So remembered spots, 76ers, that can't happen in my scenario. Brooklyn Nets, that can't happen in my scenario. Los Angeles Lakers, that can't happen in my scenario. So that leaves the Dallas Mavericks, and I don't think he's going to be signing with the Dallas Mavericks. You thought I was going to say he was, but I don't think he is, actually. I don't think the Mavericks are going to get Tobias Harris. I actually think a sleeper team that has 2 max slots are going to get him, and I think that's the New York Knicks. I think the New York Knicks are going to sign Tobias Harris. I mean, they have the money. Tobias Harris is worth the money. I mean, why not? That Knicks team is young. Pair him up with R.J. Barrett. They got Dennis Smith Jr. up there. Like, they could build a solid core up there with Tobias Harris. And Tobias Harris is only 26 years of age, so it's not like he's super old. I mean, that team could be very good. Oh, and Mitchell Robinson, that's another person they have up there. I mean, Kevin Knox. I mean, they have tons of young people. Even Alonzo Trier. if the Knicks can get Tobias Harris, that team could be solid and could be a threat in the East in the next couple of years. So I think Tobias Harris is going to go to the New York Knicks. Next up, we have Chris Middleton, and he played for the Milwaukee Bucks, having himself a breakout year last year, and he's 27 years of age, and this one's kind of obvious. I think he's going to stay with the Bucks. He did decline his player option. I think it's $13.1 million, but I think the Bucks are going to re-sign him for probably around the $20 million range, and I can't see Chris Middleton going to, like, the Lakers or the Mavs. I can't see that. I think he's going to stay in Milwaukee. Now, here's one that's really interesting, all right? We got D'Angelo Russell from the Brooklyn Nets. Had himself a 21.1 points per game, 7 assists, 4 rebound kind of year, right? So with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving signing with the Nets, in order for that to happen, they would have had to renounce the rights to D'Angelo Russell, and in my scenario, they did renounce the rights to D'Angelo Russell, making him an unrestricted free agent. Now, I don't think he's staying with the Nets. I don't think he's going to the Mavericks at these rumored landing spots. The Bulls, I couldn't even see that, but my final two came to I actually had final three. I had the Celtics, Boston Celtics, Phoenix Suns, and the Indiana Pacers. Now, I'd like to see him come to the Boston Celtics. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I would really want him to see him go to the Suns. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I think he's going to team up Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner and Bogdanovich up in Indiana. I mean, it's not Brooklyn. Indiana, don't get me wrong, it's not Brooklyn, but that him and Oladipo, when Oladipo's healthy, that's going to be a very nice backcourt. I mean, that's going to be a really good one, and I think the Pacers can continue to make noise in the Eastern Conference, and that's where I think D'Angelo Russell's going to go, the Indiana Pacers. Al Horford is next on the list. He declined his, I think it was $30 million player option with the Boston Celtics, and the rumored landing spot says Celtics. I don't think he's coming back to the Celtics. Apparently, there is a suitor that is going to offer him a 4-year deal that gives him about $25 million per year, and that's a lot for a 32-year-old Al Horford. And that team, that rumored team, I think that's going to be the Dallas Mavericks. They have the room to sign a player like Horford to pair him up with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis and a Luka Doncic. That could be a pretty nice team in the West. Now, is that going to win right away? Probably not. But if you give Lucas and Kristaps some time to grow, Al Horford maybe in his third season, they could really make some noise in the West and try to even get someone else to help him out. But yeah, Al Horford, I think, will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Next up, we got Nikola Vucevic here from the Orlando Magic. 20.8 points per game, 12 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and shot 52% from the field. I think he will be signing with even though they're not one of the rumored spots, I think he'll sign with the Boston Celtics. As the Celtics missed out on a lot of prized free agents, I think Nikola, that kind of becomes their second option, as I believe Kemba was their first option, and they missed out on him, so they're going to get Nikola Vucevic to replace Al Horford at the center position. Nikola is 28 years old, so giving a 4-year deal will give him the same. It's kind of like the same deal as Al Horford, but I think right now Nikola would be a better offensive player and could kind of him and Jason Tatum. They could kind of lead that offense and keep the Celtics competitive in the Eastern Conference. So I think he's going to the Boston Celtics. Now we got Boogie Cousins coming off of his torn Achilles from a season prior. He played with the Warriors. Had himself a decent year, not the same Boogie that we're used to, but I mean, what can you expect after a torn Achilles? I mean, 16.3 points and 8.2 boards is still very good, don't get me wrong. And I think you give him an off season to come back, he'll be better than ever. I can see him getting back up to like 19, 20 points per game if I'm being honest. But a dark horse team, not the Warriors. Warriors will not re-sign him. The Lakers can't sign him. I think a dark horse team, the Knicks. I already mentioned them with Tobias Harris. I think they're going to sign DeMarcus Cousins to pair him up with Tobias Harris. Kevin Knox, R.J. Barrett, Dennis Smith, DeMarcus Cousins will be joining the New York Knicks with Tobias Harris. Now we got Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, he didn't play at all last year because of a torn ACL. This is kind of easy. He's a restricted free agent. The Mavericks are going to re-sign him. He's going to stay with the Mavericks, and it's going to be him and Al Horford and Luka Doncic all together on the Mavericks. But no matter what offer's thrown at him, even if it's a max, they're going to accept it. Kristaps will be staying in Dallas. You have to. The penultimate prediction here in this video, we have Malcolm Brogdon from the Milwaukee Bucks. Won Rookie of the Year back in 2017? I think he's 2017. I mean, I know he was drafted in 2016, so I believe that would be 2017. He's already 26. Wow, the time is... I know he was 23 coming in, but still. 15.6 points per game. I mean, 43% from the field, or 3-point. That's very good. I don't think he's going to stay with the Bucks, even though he's a restricted free agent. I think some other team will offer him a higher contract than the Bucks can handle or would want to accept, and it's not going to be the Bulls. It's not going to be the Sixers. It's not going to be the Bucks. I think a team that lost out on a point guard, or combo guard really, and D'Angelo Russell will sign him, and I think it'll be the Phoenix Suns. They are in desperate need of a point guard to pair up alongside Devin Booker, and I think that man can be Malcolm Brogdon. Is he as good as D'Angelo Russell? No. Is he Kemba Walker? No. He's not the best point guard in the league, but he is a solid point guard. And the Suns have $20 million in cap space, and I think they won't offer that much. But, you know what I mean? They'll offer it enough to have him and maybe even have another mid-level exception player and really become competitive in the Western Conference for years to come. So I think Malcolm Brogdon will go to the Phoenix Suns. And the last player we're going to be predicting here for the NBA free agency is Julius Randle from the New Orleans Pelicans. He had 21.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, and 52.4% from the field. Now, I think he's going to be leaving New Orleans. With Zion Williamson, the #1 overall draft pick of this year's draft. They got Lonzo, they got Brandon Ingram, they got so many players. Julius Randle just will probably see his way out because, he would definitely start for that team, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just think he's going to leave to look for some money elsewhere. And one team that hasn't really spent money yet, that has missed out on every single free agent in my scenario, will finally spend some money, even though it is not the best fit. It is a fit. They can make it work, kind of be more small, because I think Randall's only 6'9". It's going to be the Los Angeles Clippers. They lost out on KD, Kawhi, Kyrie. They lost out on everybody. And this is kind of their consolation prize. And don't get me wrong, this is not a bad consolation prize. Julius Randle is a great player, and it'll keep the Clippers competitive, but it's not the Kawhi they were looking for. It's not like Kemba. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. It's kind of a disappointment for the Clippers, in my opinion. But, I think the Los Angeles Clippers will sign Julius Randle. Well, guys, those were all my predictions for the 2000 NBA free agent class. I got some winners and losers for you, and then I'm going to end the video. So, we're going to start with the winners. I think the winners of this year's free agency will be the Brooklyn Nets, the Toronto Raptors, and the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Brooklyn Nets is obvious. It's because they ended up being the winners of the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving sweepstakes, and they pair them up and they become an instant top team in the Eastern Conference, so that's why they're a winner in my opinion. The Toronto Raptors are a winner in this scenario because they keep Kawhi Leonard. There's been strong sayings of LeBron, AD, and Kawhi for the Lakers, and that's a very, very appetizing offer if I'm Kawhi. If Toronto can keep Kawhi in Toronto, that would make them a winner, and in my scenario, I think they will be a winner because they will keep him in Toronto. And then the Indiana Pacers are a winner because they get D'Angelo Russell, who has many other suitors in this year's free agency, but they are the ones to end up with him, pairing it up with Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner, and making them one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference as well. So those are my three winners, all Eastern Conference teams that will be towards the top of the tables next season. Now my losers here, it's kind of funny how this works. These are all really big markets. So first loser, we have the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I know they got a max free agent in Kemba Walker, and he's a very good player. But Kemba, no offense to Kemba, it's not Kawhi. It's not Kyrie. It's not KD. It's not who they really wanted. It's kind of a second option. They're kind of a loser in that sense. They should have got Kawhi, or they really wanted Kawhi, but they had to kind of settle for Kemba. Kemba's one of those players you're just going to have to settle for. And it's a good player to, quote-unquote, settle for, but that's why they're a loser in this year's free agency. The Los Angeles Clippers are a loser as well because I stated earlier, they lost out on every single free agent, but they ended up getting Julius Randle as a consolation prize, but that's why they're a loser. They missed out on their top targets. The final loser is the Boston Celtics. My Boston Celtics. They ended up signing Nikola Vucevic, but Nikola Vucevic is not like Kemba. It's not KD. It's not Kawhi. It's not any of those top guys. And they had the opportunity to get D'Angelo Russell or Kemba Walker, and they swing and miss on both of them. So that is why they're my final loser in this year's free agency class. But guys, I really hope you enjoyed my prediction video. Let me know in the comments below, what are your predictions for these top free agents? Let me know where I'm right, wrong. Just put your feedback down in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I want to hear you guys' predictions. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. If you haven't already, this is Tyler signing off saying, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good one. Later.